Hi guys, my name is Sid, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the concept of perception shifting and how we use this for our clients to generate a ton of pipeline. And one of them had $72,000 in 2 weeks of working together. Let's see. All right. So why listen to me? We work with a bunch of different clients. From early stage startups to custom software development companies, and also agencies. So I'm taking agencies to give you an example because it's one of the more harder offers to actually get it working because of the sheer level of competition in the industry, right? Web design, creative agencies, branding agencies, really. So one of the clients that worked with very recently, they booked 14 meetings in 2 weeks, and this was during the out of office season. That added $70,000 to the pipeline, and we also helped creative agencies book 122 meetings in 3 months, adding $610K to the pipeline, and they also closed a deal with families. Right. So first, let's go over the perception shifts, what it basically is and how it can help. Right. So basically, reframing perception shifting is two tools that are very powerful in persuasion. Right. So basically, by altering how people view a situation, you can really make them go from saying, "Oh, I want this solution. I get 20 emails every single day," to why I want that exactly. That's what I'm facing, and I think that can solve it. And I think I need that, right? And they usually want more information, right? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, really. So you really need to reframe the offer, reframe how you talk about your design, especially in more of competitive niches, in more of offers where you can't really define a quantifiable outcome, right? Now, web design, you can't really talk about. There's no really revenue side to web design, really. Just because of a company doing web design doesn't mean that they're actually going to make more money, right? But you probably should do that, So I'll go more into that. But this is the diagram here is Hormozi's value proposition, value equation. That's the dream outcome into the perceived value by the time delay and the effort sacrifice, right? So the dream outcome and the perceived value should go higher basically, and the time and the effort should be less for giving the most amount of value, right? So this is not just for outbound, for emailing. So this can be used for website messaging, market positioning in general, for your ads, for content and all that, right? So in market positioning, basically it means presenting an offer such that it aligns with the prospect's pain points, desires and their goals, right? So you really need to understand about the buyer persona, who you're targeting and what they really care about, and then only then will you be able to actually reframe the offer so it actually becomes very appealing to them, right? Should make them interested. So we're talking about email here. So it's becoming harder and harder every day, cold email in general. And every other company is blasting emails. So you have to stand out in the inbox to pique their interest, right? So for this, you need to understand the prospect very, very deeply. So, AI personalization, all that doesn't really work, right? That doesn't matter. It probably works, but it doesn't matter if you use it the wrong way, right? So that's why, going very, very targeted, segmenting your campaign, segmenting the audience list is very, very important. But, if you look at the competition, if you look at the emails you're getting every single day, 99% of them are just general, it's generated by AI, you can just smell that, right? And it usually doesn't resonate with what you're looking for and what the problems you're facing and all that. Or you probably just have a solution, right? But most of them don't really talk about what you're going through and what you are looking for, right? At least to get their interest. I mean, you could say no after them giving more information. If it's something that you really don't want, then you can do that. But the email, the one thing that everyone needs to understand, or which is important, is the first email is not to sell your service, but it's actually to start a conversation, right? To get the prospect's interest, and then you go talking about the product and all that, right? But yeah, so who's this for? So if you're a B2B company, you already have product market fit, you're already established, you have really good case studies, but you're struggling to differentiate yourself in a crowded market. You want to generate demand for your product, but you don't really have a system to generate, opportunities consistently every single month, right? You also have a small sales team with the sales process dialed down, right? At this point of time, you're just looking for more distribution and add more meetings, add more pipeline to the company, right? If that's you, then these insights will, pretty much blitzkrieg your revenue scale, right? But even if it's not you, even if you don't have PMF, it'll still help you achieve PMF faster, because messaging is very important, obviously. So you need that message market fit as well. Cold email, we help with that as well, finding message market fit. But this is pretty much a fundamental for creating a good offer and going from just demand capture to demand generation, right? So let's break down the process. First is obviously niching down, right? Go service broad industries. See, this is fine, right? You on the whole, you can service a bunch of different industries. If you're already doing that, if you're already established, if it makes sense, then do that. But in messaging, when you don't really do that, right? You go be as segmented as possible. It's not just the niche as well. So there's so many ways you can segment your list, basically. With their technology stack, with signals, with the company traits, and triggers and all that. That's done, right? So you have to be as segmented as possible. You can probably use instead of just using one signal. For example, let's say if a company is, you're targeting companies that got recently funded, right, in the last 6 months, for example. Many people, many agencies, many companies are already doing that, right? But the more powerful campaign will be combining like 2-3 signals, right? So you hire, so let's say you target companies that are recently funded in the last 6 months, and you're targeting CEOs, founders who are first time, right? Who have a startup for the first time, right? Don't have experience being a CEO before, and you're also targeting startups with the SOC2 in their webpage, right? So that's super targeted, right? The copy will write itself. You don't really need to focus on writing the copy, right? And the offer, it's pretty straightforward, right? Just flow and just become super targeted. So that's why you go niche down. That's what I mean by niche down. It's not just the industry; it's also the the traits of the company, what they're doing, and basically signals. This does a lot, right? Next, obviously, is to understand the ICP we're targeting. You have to understand the prospects, who you're targeting, the pain points, the desires, and the goals. Because if you're targeting, let's say, the C-suite, let's say you're targeting the CMOs, right? So CMOs will have different goals than a marketing manager, right? For example, they probably want more budgets. They're looking to increase their budgets, get more budget, basically. But marketing managers don't really care about that. They just want to, reduce customer acquisition costs, for example, right? That's one of their probably one of their more important goals, right? But yeah, understand their ICP, understand the ICP, who we're targeting, exactly know what they're looking for as well, right? This is going to help a lot. So now let's go to the reframing the offer. So most offers out there, are like this, right? So we help SaaS companies revamp their website with an attractive design. But you have to understand, startups really don't care about their website just because of the design, right? Maybe they do, right? They probably want it to look good, for sure. But it's mostly because they want it to look good enough to attract their ideal customers and good investors, right? So just don't just stop with this. Go even more. Let's go even more deeper, right? So, for example, pre-seed. Okay, for example, pre-seed and seed stage startups care about things like fundraising, because they usually spend a lot out of their pockets. They were looking for, early, angels and VCs, right? So that's one thing. And also looking for early customers and feedback for the product or service. And also, hiring the right people for the core team, right? So I think there's something missing here for the seed stage, for after seed stage, right? So after seed stage, I'm just going to explain it basically. It's more of finding the right, investors for Series A, validating the product market fit as well, hiring the right people, reducing customer acquisition costs, reducing operational costs, and all that, right? So it completely different. It completely is different, not completely, but it's a lot different, right? So that's what you need to focus on. Segment it as much as possible. So even if it's a small list, it'll just work, right? So now let's go to offer examples, right? So instead of telling them we do web design, we took a different approach. For example, we are helping SaaS companies in the RegTech space add $2.5 million to their ARR, just like PayPal, through streamlined digital platforms, right? So this is just an example. PayPal isn't in the RegTech space. Just came up with it. But yeah, so SaaS companies probably looking to add. They can add funding. So what you can do. Let's say, for example, you worked with PayPal last year, and now so last year, so in 1 year. And you compare the timeline, right? And 1 year, they've added basically $2.5 million to pipeline. You can still use that, right? And we're not specifying web design as well, right? So this is very important, especially if you're competing in a very competitive space, right? Like design, branding, basically creative agencies and all that, right? So we're not doing that. So this type of messaging, so obviously we have a lot more things that we do, but this type of messaging really helps to to get the first interest, right? To help make them say yes, send more information or whatever it is, right? So, for example, if it's funding angle, then we help PayPal raise $2 million in funding from Sequoia through streamlined digital platforms, right? We're helping these pre-seed startups. So again, go deeper. We're helping pre-seed startups in the tech space add $2.5 million to the ARR and all that. You can just play around with this. But these are some of the examples. For web design, we just don't tell them we do web design, at least the first email. Right? After that, we do. But you have to understand that in cold outreach, obviously the trust factor is less. People want to say no, but your goal is to ensure that you don't give them a reason to say no, right? The goal of the first email again is to get their attention, get them to say yes, and it's not to sell, right? So these is like 2 screenshots, but we have a ton of different screenshots, some of the messages that we get every single day saying, about the cold emails, and even some saying that's very intuitive how we wrote that email because they were exactly looking for that solution. So some of the emails, but these are like 2 screenshots. But if you need a partner, if you need someone to help you with this, if you're not sure where to begin, what to do, setting up this infrastructure, to generate like qualified opportunities every single month, really consistently, you can hit us up. So we work with software companies and agencies to generate demand and add more pipeline. Book more meetings in general with buyers looking for their solution, right? So we are we're a certified Clay expert as well. We use a lot of intent, we use triggers and all that to find prospects that are looking for your solution, right? So we help with things like revenue operations, outbound marketing, and also value-based selling, right? So if you're interested, if this seems interesting, book a call with me and let's see if we can help, right? But for now, thank you.